Hello everyone, this is King Grats here. Welcome back to the channel, guys. We have now reached the summit of the 2025 NHL Stanley Cup Playoffs, with the Stanley Cup Final officially being set with the completion of the Western Conference Final last night. It's a repeat of the 2024 Stanley Cup Final, with the Florida Panthers taking on the Edmonton Oilers. So in this video, I'm going to be basically doing a series preview of this year's Cup Final, what you need to know going into the finale here, which begins Wednesday night in Edmonton. And of course, if you like this type of content, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content like this one, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. So let's get into it. This is a rematch, as I mentioned, of last year's Cup Final, in which the Panthers won that series in 7 games. Granted, they almost blew a 3-0 series lead, but no one remembers that, right? This year, it's a similar story, so to speak. For Edmonton, they had a similar gauntlet run this year. They took down the LA Kings in the first round. They defeated the Vegas Golden Knights in the second round, and then they took down the Dallas Stars in 5 games last night to reclaim the Western Conference title. In Florida this year, they once again took down the Lightning in 5 games. They defeated the Leafs in 7, and then they defeated Carolina in 5 games, and reclaiming for the 3rd year in a row Eastern Conference championship. So when we look at these two teams, they're basically identical to what they were last season. Florida, you get that classic grit, grinding, toughness type of team with tons of talent, superior goaltending compared to most franchises, and a very strong defensive-minded system that can really smother opposing offenses. In Edmonton, you've got the explosive power of Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. They have a supporting cast that honestly it doesn't look great on paper, but they've just worked out very well. Guys like Corey Perry, Connor Brown, Kasperi Kapanen, etc. Their defense is also a lot more stacked as usual. They have been getting healthier as the postseason has gone on, reacquiring Matthias Ekholm after he came back from injury. And the goaltending, you get the same matchup. Sergei Bobrovsky versus Stuart Skinner right now. And, it's going to be a similar kind of story between these two teams as to, who exactly is going to have the more consistent offense, who's going to smother each other, a defensive side of the game. What we do have, however, is maybe some changes when it comes to the overall storyline here, because we do have a couple of guys out with injuries. Notably for Edmonton, they've lost Zach Hyman for the rest of the postseason after he underwent surgery at the conclusion of Game 4, so he is now out for the rest of the playoffs, and that's a huge blow for Edmonton because Hyman was having a good postseason, not only this year, but he also had one last year that really contributed to their run. For Florida, they've dealt with kind of a combination of some significant injuries, but also some more injuries to their depth. In the 3rd round, they had lost guys like Sam Reinhart, AJ Greer, Itulo Serenen, for example, to injuries. They also had some suspension issues with Aaron Ekblad earlier in the postseason, but it looks like everything's now been cleaned up. When it comes to performance, you're looking at probably the usual suspects. I wouldn't be surprised if we have that classic matchup of McDavid versus Barkov and Draisaitl versus Sam Bennett, etc. I'm really interested to see, are we going to get basically a complete replay of last year's finale? I wouldn't expect it to go to 7 games again. I certainly though see this as maybe a very lengthy series, at least 6 games at minimum. I like the chances for both teams. I just think that they're both coming off of equal rest. They also get a number of days off. Technically, today is May 30th as of me recording this video. The first game isn't until next Wednesday, so we're looking at about 4 or 5 days before we get Game 1. Edmonton does have home ice advantage because they have the more superior regular season record compared to the Panthers. That's basically how things are going to roll. So we're going to be in Edmonton for the first 2 games, followed by 2 games in Florida, etc. Let me know what your thoughts. Who do you think is going to win the Stanley Cup this year for 2025? Please leave a comment down below. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content like this one, and I'll see you all in my next video.